So I remember, like, this being the central part of the factory, and there was big wooden patterns either side, and go outside, there was the 2 cranes, and there was big massive patterns there, some gigantic ones, like.
Yeah.
So I remember it, like, since I was about 7 years old, I used to come over there.
Well, you remember it when it was being used mainly for a pattern storage for the FH Steel Foundry.
Yeah. Where did you work? Which part of the...
I worked on a complex over down by that lane. There was a hill there and the foundry built on the hill, and that's where I started work.
The Woodpile is a place, and it's the back of Darlaston Baths. I've been going over it since I was about 7 years old. But now, the factories have been knocked down, all the wooden mouldings have gone, and it's just fields now, but it's still got the same sort of feeling. It sort of draws you to it, there's a magnetic force that draws you to it, like even now. I think it's the closest you can get to nature around here. It's, you know, fields and trees, and there's a lot of paths to it, because it used to be the pit head for the lime pits. Also there was forges there, warehouses there, coal yards there, canals that passed through there, railways. It was such, you know, there's a lot of life just bustled through there, and there seems to be a lot, you know, left behind.
The first time I went over there was a day in the school summer holidays.
Hey, up, there's a fire over there.
And then I ended up spending the best part of 4 years over there.
Who's it?
Every day or every night.
Probably, I don't know.
Used to get up to all sorts of things, like used to get drunk and have bonfires. And it was over there that we first got introduced to glue as well. That's when we started glue sniffing.
Right, Paige. How you going? Are you alright, Owen?
Yeah, great. How you going?
Well, not too bad. Didn't know you was a sniffer, had they?
I walked him a few weeks ago.
Nah. What does it do to you, that stuff?
Mad things. Sends you soft.
Alright, Tar. Alright. How you doing?
Oh, I'm okay.
Don't it hurt you then, that stuff? Unless you inject it into your eye.
Nah, won't hurt you.
Has someone find out?
Nah, don't touch that sort of stuff.
Very down.
Nah.
Some there if you want some.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, right. We'll try some then. What do I do? Give me the bag.
Put some in the bag.
How much do I put in? About 3. No, obviously. Go on, that's something I haven't on me, haven't we?
Get it down in there. Down.
Suppose I'll try it once. Right. You have me for a job interview?
You'd be tatty with me.
Tatty? A bit too smart for tatty.
I know.
I can't describe to you what it's like, because it's
What do I
different
do?
for everybody.
What do I do?
Just blow in the bag.
Blow in the bag. Hang on, I've heard that before.
Your ears, like, some amazing sounds you're going to hear. And now you are.
in here.
It's the Woodpile calling you.
I couldn't do some singing to me. Listen. Can you hear them?
No.
Oh, fucking hell. I'm gonna like shut it. You know, there's old limestone caverns under there, mines from the old days.
Why do you know that?
So I was took down there once. There was this gnome with a lantern, and he showed me all around.
While you were sniffing?
Yeah. And they come up for faggots and pies.
Those hallucinations held us to it. It was a different world, but you know you're going to die. Or you know, you just can't live your life as a glue sniffer. You have to pay a lot for that different world.
It's brilliant.
You sell all your possessions to go there, and you just, all your clothes are ruined. Nobody wants to know you.
I had horrible irritation all the time in my throat and, you know, the back of my nose and phlegm, and you always feel grotty in the morning. You don't get up, you're always tired or drowsy, you know.
It's such a negative thing to have done at the time. It was wonderful. It was something that made our group special.
What happened in the end was you'd go over to sniff to get these hallucinations. You'd end up just blacking out, sort of coming round again like 3 hours later in the freezing cold and thinking what happened to them 3 hours. It was a beautiful dream to start off with, and then it started getting worse and worse until the end. In the end, it was a nightmare.
Hello?
All right. What's the matter?
What do you think? You said you was going to stop this.
I've tried, honest. I've done my best.
Yeah, it looks like it.
I am. It's just I can't stop.
Why can't you?
I get bored and fed up.
Everybody does, I do, but not everybody sniffs glue.
No, I just sit and go quiet and mad. I'm sorry.
I'm always sorry, but you never do anything about it.
It's just that I can't stop.
You can't stop. Just pull yourself together.
It isn't doing me any harm.
It is, look at you, you're a mess.
I'm sorry, I'll try my very best.
Everybody else has stopped. Jimmy and Paige has stopped.
I don't know, I just can't.
If you don't stop soon, you're just going to kill yourself. Look at the other night, you nearly threw yourself out the bedroom window because of it.
That was an accident. Look, I've been sniffing for 3 years now. I can't just stop, not like that. It's not that easy.
What do you mean, Paige, you've stopped?
I don't know, I just can't.
Well, I've had enough. If you don't stop, I'm just going to leave you.
Just like that?
Well, it ain't just like that, is it? I've had to put up with it for years. I've had enough, I can't take any more. It's that glue or it's me. I'm going on. I want you to think about what I've said, I'm serious. It's that stuff or it's me.
You coming tomorrow?
Maybe.
What's that supposed to mean?
I might and I might not. I might phone.
Well, that was the final cut. That was really when I decided I had to stop, so I did.
Prepare yourself for a week that's quite hard. You'll be put under quite a lot of pressure. You'll find that the tempo of things will rise. You'll be receiving a lot of information, and you're not only going to have to be concentrated on acting, because the sort of company we are, we share all the tasks. Who's going to measure the gym up? Centre line. Okay. It's important that the set goes onto the centre of the room.
I do, but I can't.
So really, from 9:30 till 1.
Well, Simon, if they carry the stuff down, I'll do the centering line while they're doing that.
While they're carrying the stuff down?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Right, Thursday, 10 o'clock, full company on stage for warm-up.
Oh, can somebody get a mic stand from somewhere? An old battered mic stand?
There's a couple of mic stands in there.
Right. For this play, I was responsible for designing the set, designing the props, etc., the light in the set. So, built the bar, painted the set, to make it look like an old 24-hour calf, paint the dirt on and stuff like that. And then lit it, did the lighting on for the play.
When I left art college, I got a job in Chelsea Girl. I hated it. I couldn't sell. I'm not a salesman for a start. I mean, if I thought some piece of jewellery was overpriced, I'd say so. Don't buy it. It's too much money. Also, around this time, I got this haircut, which meant I've got basically a bald head with an horseshoe of hair on the top of my head sticking straight up. And I used to get so much stick in the end, I just turned around and says, look, I don't want to work here anymore.
Didn't get on with the teachers there, the lecturers. Their ideas for art were totally different to what I had. And it's like one time I did some painting. I thought personally I thought it was pretty good, and I knocked a load of water over it. And as far as the lecturers was concerned, it looked much better with the water tipped over it.
Yeah, she's growing nicely. Yeah, she's just about 22 weeks, Doctor.
22 weeks. Very good.
Are you moving well, Carol?
It's the best thing that's ever happened to me. he's having a baby, and there wasn't a decision to be made. You know, I was having a baby, and that was it.
Pop your fingers there.
You know, and I'm looking forward to it tremendously. It's everything I wanted.
Can you feel it like a little golf ball?
Yeah.
Yes, David's head. Yes, that's fine.
I hope it doesn't grow up to be a conservative or a racist or a member of the National Front or a skinhead. I just want a caring, well-balanced individual whose head's in the right place.
That feel alright there?
We were not getting married. Not because I disagree with marriage. I mean, fine. I hate the seedy idea of, oh God, now I'm pregnant, we'll have to get married. Rushing around trying to get a wedding together in a month so as I can get in a dress without looking pregnant. There's phases you go through. That I've been through, that Roy's been through, that I hope my kids won't go through. But there are natural phases as well. I mean, there's got to be a gap between parents and children, otherwise it's not healthy, you know. Certain things that you've got to do without your parents knowing about. But I just hope that my child's sensible enough not to go over the top. You know, there's 101 things I want from my children.
So I remember it since I was about 7 years old. I used to come over there.
Well, you remember it when it was being used mainly for a pattern storage for the Ackroyd steel foundry.
Yeah. Where did you work? Which part of the...
I worked on a complex over down by that lane. There was a hill there and the foundry built on the hill, and that's where I started work.
The Woodpile is a place, and it's the back of Darlaston baths. I've been going over it since I was about 7 years old. But now the factories have been knocked down, all the wooden mouldings have gone, and it's just fields now, but it's still got the same sort of feeling. It sort of draws you to it. There's a magnetic force that draws you to it, like even now.
I think it's the closest you can get to nature around here. It's, you know, fields and trees, and there's a lot of paths to it, because it used to be the pit head.
So I remember this being the central part of the factory, and there was big wooden patterns either side, and go outside there was the 2 cranes, and there was big massive patterns there, some gigantic ones like.
Ended up spending the best part of 4 years over there. Every day or every night.
Used to get up to all sorts of things, like used to get drunk and have bonfires, and it was over there that we first got introduced to glue as well. That's when we started glue sniffing.
Right, Paige. How you going?
For the line pits also, there was forges there, warehouses there, coal yards there, canals that passed through there, railways. It was such, you know, there's a lot of life just bustled through there, and there seems to be a lot, you know, left behind.
The first time I went over there was a day in the school summer holidays.
Hey up, there's a fire over there.
And then I